Welcome to another Trade of the Day here at TraderTV.Live. And hey, look, what's moving is support.com. That was the one. There were a lot of good trades today. Obviously, Peloton had earnings. And I'm going to jump back. And the only reason we're even going to show you the higher time frame 15-minute chart is just for a little bit of reference as to what has been happening on support.com, which has heavy short interest. I mean, you'll see numbers from 25%. I've seen 40 is high, somewhere in that range. And the key thing is it is squeezing to the upside. Started at $10 a few days ago, got up to 12, actually holds a pullback, gap up, consolidates. Then it starts going crazy. Yesterday was that first really, really big move. And at the close, I mean, we're on our close show, and it was consolidating at 20. And I was sitting there saying to myself, yeah, this isn't going to go until after 4 o'clock, because why would you let that move happen intraday for the day traders that have to be flat? It makes a move in the aftermarket and then still gaps up in the morning. And then it goes absolutely bonkers. Now, I would love to be able to tell you that I captured this move in the pre-market. Now, there was a double top here at 34, but as you can see, I paper hands that trade. I get in. We take the initial move out. It goes right into that 35, spikes into that 36, pulls back. I trail myself out because it's the pre-market. And a lot of times in the pre-market, I'm usually heavily fading names that move. This case, I actually take the long and don't hold on to it. It gave you a few breakouts after that. I probably should have had the 41. Instead, once I miss that, I wait for the 50 turn. I actually had that one a couple bucks in the money up there at 49 short. Didn't take it off. Mistake when it's that strong. End up getting stopped out at the top. Once it starts coming into the downside, I'm looking for one thing and one thing only. I'm looking for a jailbreak long. There's a couple of ways that can happen. Now, obviously, you could have bounced. You could have flushed through VWAP and bounced because you got that 40 level. So break VWAP here, flush through 40, and then maybe jailbreak back into the upside. That's maybe like a B entry, something along those lines. You could have retested this pullback, the one off the 40 turn. You could have retested that one, actually consolidated here, flushed through maybe like 50 cents or so, and then get that push back, maybe a bit of a wipeout bottom. That doesn't happen either. Instead, we get a real capitulation, which is a halt to the downside. Now, this is where it sets up pretty good here, because this isn't like 5 or 6. I think it was like 8 halts when GMA made that, I mean, just Godfather bottom, 8 halts in a row, which was disgusting how people got liquidated on it. But it was one of the biggest turns I've seen in a while and easy to take when you look at the halt open trades. So once we halt into the downside, the first thing I'm thinking about, where's our floors, right? You've got that 28 that was sitting around at the bottom, and you got this 30 area support. So I'm immediately thinking about those two. But you got to consider where we're going to open up here. If we end up opening up and we do close to that halt down price, then you might have to end up going with the upper stop. If we had actually gapped down to like 30 and a half, 31, then you're thinking about that 28 bottom. And reason why I'm only thinking about that low, I'm not buying in front of that low. What I want to do here is when it opens up, test it. If it opens higher, I want to test that 30 low. If it holds the bottom, I'm simply going jailbreak long through the halt price, right? That's the entry point. If it would have been 78, I'd be doing about the same thing, although I might have to bring the stop down just a little bit there, guys. But once we get the break long, I'm not trying to pick the bottom. I'm trying to take the breakout back through the halt price. Now, at this particular moment, it's going to seem random to cover at that price, but it goes into that, that halt state, or right about that offer where it just can't take any higher in those it was like a mid 36 sixes, right? So it goes into that range. You got a stuck offer, would come down 25 cents, would go back in, just couldn't break it. I ended up covering some shares. Of course, it ends up halting right at that top end of the range. And this is where I think I blew the rest of this trade. Obviously, it's going to still be a winner, taking what ends up amounting to, you get like a 32.60 entry, and you're getting a 36. You get a $3-4 winner, depending if you get out in front of the range or get it all. That's not a bad trade. Risk to reward was there. You're right with the momentum. But when it reopened, we hold for the move up. Now, there were multiple reasons why you want to get out at 42. It's going to seem like you're just taking it out on this wick. But as it approached this top, it then went into that 15-second halt pause state, not once, right? So it ticks into a halt band. You can now not print any higher. It can only go down from there. It has 15 seconds to either retreat or halt. It goes into that state and breaks down. It holds 41.50. It goes right back up into that halt state again and breaks down. You can roll the tape. You can go back and watch our live show, as for whatever reason I said, if it does it a third time, I'm out. At that particular moment, the fact that I even had that in my head was screaming at me, just take the 41.50 that it's giving you up here in front of this lower high 42. If it halts up, find your way into another trade. I don't do that. It slams back in. I end up getting out, holding it all the way back till it goes into the halt state downside. Hop on the offer. I'm fortunate enough to actually be able to get it out. I mean, I'm not too happy with the exit point there. The key thing is sometimes your gut is telling you something, right? You're watching and reading the price action. And when I was saying I'll give it a third time, that was an excuse, right? The fact that I saw it go and break out of that halt state once, it was a gift that it gave me that opportunity again. And if you look a gift horse in the mouth, you're going to get burned. And that's what happened there. It's a winning trade, but I'm not going to sit there celebrating the winner. I'm going to try and learn from the mistake that I made. This should have been out 41.5. That should have been a $9 winner, $8 winner on the second half of that trade. We can always look to do better. That is the goal of every single trader. Let me know how you did on support.com, because let me tell you, I missed the big one, obviously. Did you grab it? Did you hold into that 50 level? Did you, like Miss V, have a short at the top at 52? I didn't. I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below. As always, of course, watch the morning show, watch daily, the Power Hour at 3 o'clock. We're back every single day, guys, and see you in the markets.